The lives ripped out like broken water mains, like dripping water remains in the bottom of a clogged up sink. When you're too stressed to think, everything just pops, never stops, never ceases to amaze me. Like water he can be, so cool and comforting, warm and envelop me in a bathtub with soap. He can fit places I didn't expect, the sex and oh yes, the rest. But like the same water that washes my tears away, he made them come back again. And this time I knew it was not pretend, but I also knew it was not the end. Because after the first time he hit me, I got up and I walked away. He didn't hit me hard enough to stay. When he turned into the water that killed thousands in Asia, that spouts up from the earth and knocks your mouth clean of flavor, that shit was not acceptable behavior. And I walked away because he did it once and he would repeat. So I left while I was still strong enough to stand up on my feet. And I knew many women who wait for the water to subside because, baby, love's always a bumpy ride. Well, shit, this was more like a head-on collision, and it was not a difficult decision. My shit was packed. I never looked back after that smack. And every so often, I sit up and wondering what he's doing, wondering if any woman has been stupid enough to pursue him. But every time I see a hurricane on TV, I wonder if it's him, and I'm glad it's not me. Welcome to the slam, everybody. Awesome. Welcome to the slam, everyone. My name is Karen. I am your MC for the evening. And my hard part is done, so now I can have a glass of wine, relax, whatever. A couple of quick announcements. I'll let you guys know how this is going to work, and then we're going to have our first sacrificial poet come up, which I'll explain in a second. A couple of pieces of business. One, I want everyone to take out their cell phones quickly. And now I want you to put them on the floor and smash them with your foot. Okay, not really. But please turn them off. There's nothing more distracting to a poet or a storyteller than when someone's phone goes buzzing or ringing or whatever. So there's plenty of people taking pictures, videos. You don't have anything to record. Please just shut off your phones. Talking, moving during a poem or story. The most a story will be is 5 minutes. You guys can hold it. Please don't move. There's a lot of people in this room right now. And so we're just going to ask you guys to please just wait until the piece is over, and then you can move if you need to. There's probably going to be about 1 to 2 minutes in between each performer. All right. Audience noise, right? I want you guys to be vocal. I want you guys to snap if you agree with something, or if you're just feeling it, if you like it, whatever. Hiss, whatever, boo, if you don't like it. But just please try not to distract others. If you can't hear what the poem is saying, I guarantee you, you're not going to be able to hear better by telling the person next to you that you can hear. So just be quiet. Swaying the judges. There are 5 judges out tonight. We're going to have them introduce themselves in just a second. We're going to be going ahead, and there's 5 judges. That means 5 scores. We're going to drop the lowest and the highest, and we're going to average the 3 in between. And that's how we're scoring the event tonight. So we're going to have Elad here is our lovely scorekeeper, and he's going to write down everything here. Thank you, Elad. He was very kind last night at Shabbat dinner to allow himself to be used for this, so I appreciate it. So Elad's going to be our scorekeeper. Judges, listen very carefully. You are not to be swayed by the audience. Got it? Audience, I want you to sway the judges. Cool? All right. There's a little bit of, I come from Poetry Slam world, and there's a little bit of a tradition. Mark Smith is the person in Chicago, America, I know, who started Poetry Slams. But whenever Mark Smith's name is brought up at a Poetry Slam, you're supposed to say, so what? So what, exactly. So I want to thank Mark Smith for inventing the slam. Exactly, there we go. Just had to do a little shout out there. I think that's just about it. I have a note on here about approaching the poets, which is something just to note. If we're going to take a short intermission after the first 5 have gone, if someone hasn't gone yet and they're performing, give them their space. Afterwards, if you like what they had to say, go ahead and talk to them, but people are generally nervous before they go up. All right. So judges, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourselves. We have groups of judges starting with over here. We got the basic bitches. Hashtag basic bitches by Felicia. Okay. Next up. What's this say? 4Jews/5 opinions. .co.il. Sounds like my parents. Okay. Right here. Just judging. Hashtag just judging. All right. And over here, Judge Judy. Good try, but that's what it says. All right. So the judges, you know your rules. It's a score from 1 or 0, I guess, 0 to 10. The first thing we're going to do to help you guys out is have a sacrificial performer go up. This is different than other slams you might have been to because we have both poems and stories. Each piece is 5 minutes long. Maria, right here, is your lovely timekeeper performers. She's going to give you the 1 minute sign when you have 1 minute left, and then the done sign, meaning get the F off the stage. All right. So the first performer is going to be Lavi, and this judges, so you know this is who you'll be calibrating your judging by. So Lavi, take it away.
There comes a time in every boy's and every girl's life where they need to move on, to transcend from childhood to adulthood. I drew that line in the sand or concrete between my childhood, my adolescenthood, my fucking aroundhood, and my adulthood in the summer of 2009. I had just come back from 7 months of being on Cloud 9, traveling through New Zealand and Australia, and finishing off with a mandatory half-moon jungle party in Thailand. I came back to the warm embrace of my family down south with the notion that it was my time to make it big. It was my time to move to the big city of Tel Aviv. It was my time to score a big boy's job, blaze my trail, and leave my footprint on this world. Only trouble was, nobody pissed in my direction for months on end. Phone calls, CVs, resumes, cover letters, emails, unanswered. Until a pivotal week in July of 2009, where all of the sudden, out of the blue, I had 3 job opportunities, and I needed to make that big boy's decision of what path to go down. A decision that could resonate for the rest of my life, and of course would entail a probable move to the big city. Mind you that in those days, the mere mention of Tel Aviv would send me off all curled up to the corner like a frightened hedgehog, because by nature I was a small city boy, and the metropolitan was oh too scary for me. Into this concoction of confusion and fear, a girl was thrown in. Now I had thought my heart was full with a different dame I'd met during my travels in New Zealand, so unsurprisingly, I was completely surprised. So much so that after only 1 date of cherry eating and frisbee throwing under the palm trees of the Ramat Gan Park, I was smitten. I was blown away, infatuated in the hardest way possible with this girl. And by the end of that tremendous, crucial, critical week in my life, I got the job. But I lost the girl. I found myself in a friend's cold and alienated apartment in a cold and alienated neighborhood in northern Tel Aviv, all alone, wallowing in my pain, trying to get this girl out of my system like a song that's stuck in your head, and you keep humming that tune day in and day out. I was noticing everything, every thought and every feeling passing through my mind, through my body, through my heart, analyzing everything like in a Woody Allen movie. And out of these observations came the following small piece I call I Sigh. I sigh vertically in the kitchen. I sigh horizontally in the bed. My day is built of sighs. My lungs are too small to bear the amount of sorrow emitted into the air. She was mine, and all I ever wanted under the skies. But in the end she left, and all that I had left were sighs.
Woo! Thank you. That's a well-placed Woody Allen picture right there. Awesome. All right. So judges. Oh, I'm sorry, Levi. Will you please pick the next performer? Out of the hat. Dun, dun, dun. Ayelet. Awesome. All right. So, Ayala, you have a second to come up. We're going to get the judges' scores. All right. Basic bitches. 6. And I want you guys to let the judges know if you agree or disagree with their score. L-A-V-I. Boo? Is that right? Okay, basic bitches, you get a boo. Bye, Felicia. All right. Co.Israel. 7.5. 6 from Just Judgin'. Whoa, 4. Y'all are some tough judges right now. Judge Judy gives an 8. All right. So we dropped the 4. We dropped the 8. 6.5. 6.75. All right. 6.75. All right. Give it up for the performer, not for the score. All right. Ayelet, please.
My first time was in a bar in San Francisco. True story. I wasn't the kind of girl who feels comfortable in a bar or anywhere else, really. I'm the one with glasses who likes to sit at the back and pretend to disappear. I don't do this. I'll never forget that night, even though I don't remember much about it, just the noise. That kind of noise you could lose yourself in, somewhere between the first beer and the last chaser. I didn't know what I was walking into until it was too late. Usually, I need time. I need alcohol, caffeine, anything to turn the volume down on that noise. That night, I was walking to a poetry reading. I just had a poem published. I didn't know San Francisco very well. I still don't. It took hours, but I finally found the place down an alley near the train tracks. It was a bar. My friends crowded into a table in the corner, and a room full of strangers. I'm there again, in the dark, holding poems carefully printed out on paper, like a shield between me and you, or someone like you. But this noise won't let me in. There's no way I can walk up to that mic. No one will hear me over the beer mugs and backslapping good times. My voice will disappear. And what will I do when they call my name? They call my name. I stand up. Somehow, I'm standing. Somehow, I'm walking like a ghost between people and tables, walking through 100 bars, through centuries of people, and in all this eternity, I still don't know what to do. I don't even know where my poems are. I look around at the faces of strangers. Everyone's talking. So I take a deep breath. And I go with, "Oh!" Thank you for listening to the story of my first poetry reading. For me, it's always the first time.
Nice. Yep, come. It's an important part. I got your name already.
Shira.
Shira. All right. As Shira makes her way up here, let's get the scores. We're going to start with the basic bitches. What we got? 7.5. 6.5 from 8 from Just Judgin'. 6 from Good Try But. And 7 from Judge Judy. So we'll get the score up there. Shira, are you doing a poem or a story? Shira's going to be coming up with a poem. 7. All right, Shira.
This poem is about my first time going on my own. Meditation on leaving the nest. Breathe in. I've been equipped with a diploma, a passion, the aroma of ambition, and a mission for the future I'll begin. Independent, without strings, just a prayer that my wings will bear the weight of all the things I intend to find within. Breathe in. I weave my way through the unturned days that lie ahead. I choose the life of challenge, the pursuit of knowledge, accept the risk of damage. It's all for the cause of understanding the circumstance, facing the consequence, not believing in coincidence, remembering to pause. But I'm human, and I'm falling. May never find my calling. Where's the awning to protect me from a never-ending spin? Breathe in. I till the ground in which my roots will be found. I'll drink wonder like water, learn to echo the thunder, encourage this hunger, work to fill in the holes. I'll follow the path of being kind, seeking not just to find, to remind me that the journey is sometimes the goal. But I'm only one, alone. Without guidance, I'm thrown. If I'm lost in the unknown, who'll pay the cost till I'll be found? Breathe in. I leave the trepidation back where I came from. I'll empower the masses, bridge the gaps between classes, remove the rose-colored glasses, appreciate the gray, replace the weapons with voices, pool our common resources, assemble the forces to keep ignorance at bay. But my path is unclear. I must accelerate through fear, celebrate the new frontier, setting goals I can achieve. Breathe in. I turn over a new leaf. Though my way is unknown, my first steps must be alone. And through the depths I will comb, I will build my own home, slam my life into poem, make mistakes I will atone, ask for help from others' throne. Harvest from the seeds I've sown, embrace the face of doubt. Breathe out.
Shira.
Teddy Kaplan.
Teddy Kaplan, you're up. All right, so as Teddy makes his way up.
No, you're good.
All right, so if everyone could give me their attention just for a second. Sheket bavakasha. Oh, wow, some other people went to Jewish day camp, clearly. All right, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the stage. Everyone, I know you're capable of listening. I want to give a quick shout out to the stage. The stage is an English, let me make sure I get this right, an English language performing arts community in Tel Aviv. Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, excellent. So the stage is kind enough to support us and allow the support for this night to go on. I had this dream when I used to do this in New York, and I had this dream of bringing it to Tel Aviv, and I'm just so happy that I was able to team up with the stage, and they've been really supportive of getting this up and off the ground. So I also want to I also want to give a shout out to the stage's website, www.thestagetlv.com. I also want to ask you guys to go, if you don't already like the stage's Facebook page, to do that, and then to check out the Stage Slam series, which is where we'll announce next month's show, next month's theme. Get in there early if you want to perform, because it fills up really quick. All right. Business done. So Teddy, you're making your way up here, Teddy? All right, and now we got the scores. Basic bitches give an 8. Not so basic. Another 8. A 7 from Just Judging. A 9.5. And an 8.5 from Judge Judy. Awesome. So if everyone can just allow Teddy to make his way up here. An 8.2 for Shira. Excellent. All right. Give it up for the performer, not for the score. Thank you, Shira. And now we welcome Teddy.
We have to speak about the first time. So I'm going to tell you guys about my first brush with death. This happened in 1972, when I think 95% of the people here today were not born. Okay? 1972 was Olympic Games here, Munich, 1972. And I, as a weightlifter, had made Aliyah from South Africa to Israel in order to participate in the 72 Olympics. The reason why I did Aliyah, because in 1964, when the Olympic Games were held in Tokyo, and I was number one choice to compete and represent South Africa at the championships in Tokyo, apartheid raised its ugly head and boycotted South Africa from the Olympic Games. So my dream was stolen. In 1964, 1968 in Mexico City, the same story. In 1969, it was an Olympic Games year, a Maccabi Games year, Maccabi Games. And I represented South Africa here in Israel at the Maccabi Games. And David Berger from America, he came first. Yosef Romano from Israel came second. And I came third in the Maccabi Games in the 75 kilogram category. David Berger, who represented the United States at the time, told me that he's going to make Aliyah to Israel because in America there's a very, very good weightlifter, non-Jewish, who is better than him, and this American will be going to the Olympic Games. So he told me he's decided to make Aliyah to Israel in 1970 to represent Israel. And I thought to myself, hey, but that's a damn good idea, because I'll do the same. But, you know, David Berger came over, a bachelor, and I came over with a wife and 5 children. Okay, and in May 1972, we had the Olympic trials. I had to compete against Berger and Romano and a few other guys, and the winner would automatically go to the Olympic Games in Munich. So again, we had a repeat. David Berger came first, Joseph Romano came second, and I came third. David Berger decided to go up in body weight to 82.5 kilograms. So it was between Joseph Romano and myself. And he beat me. And he went to the Olympic Games. I wanted to be in the Olympic Games also. I wanted to live the Olympic Games. I traveled on my own steam to Munich, booked into a hotel, and the following morning took a taxi to the weightlifting hall. And I came to the weightlifting hall and I saw, 1 minute, I'll never make it. and I saw on the roster that Israel would be coming at 12 o'clock, the Israeli team. It was about 10:30. So I walked around and watched the Japanese training and the Germans training and the Czech training. And at 11 o'clock, lo and behold, here came my 3 friends. The third one was Zev Friedman. Friedman, Berger, Romano, and of course the coach, Sokolsky, Tuvia Sokolsky. We saw each other, greetings. And these guys went and they had their workout. They finished their workout and they said to me, do you want to come with us to the Olympic Village in the bus? I said, sure, hell, to go to the Olympic Village, it's something. So I got into the bus with them, together with all the other teams, and we went into the Olympic Village, and we went to Connolly's. Okay. 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 So we came to Connollystrasse in Munich, and we came in, and they said to me, do you want to have lunch? I said, sure. So they gave me a tracksuit, you know, with Israel written on the back. And we walked into the dining room, and I had lunch in the Olympic Village, and it was wonderful. Part of my dream had come true. My biggest dream was to walk in the Olympic Games. And of course, I missed that opportunity. So we had lunch, we came back to Connollystrasse, to where they were staying. And they said to me, you see this bed over here? If you want to, you can sleep here. and you know, I couldn't believe my ears. So I said, you sure? I mean, it's possible? They said, you can sleep here. So I said to them, okay, give me 2 hours. I went out, got a taxi, traveled to the hotel where I was staying, and I opened the cupboard and I saw all my clothes neatly stacked, my vests and my underpants and my shirts and my socks and my shoes at the bottom. And then I looked in the wastepaper basket and I saw that the newspaper that I wrapped my shoes in, the maids had made the room, so they'd thrown the newspaper out. So I thought to myself, in Israel, I packed everything into the suitcase. I came to Germany, to München, and now I packed everything out tidily into the cupboard. And now I've got to repack it, and I haven't got paper to wrap my shoes in. I used to like to put my shoes on the side like this. and I've got to get back to the village and unpack again. I thought to myself, it's too much trouble. I just can't do that. I can't do that. So I went back to the village, to the Olympic Village, and I came to where they were training, and again, the same procedure, into the bus, lunch, supper, whatever, and sometimes I used to sleep in that bed. For instance, if they had to go to the ambassador, they used to have the uniform, I couldn't go with them. If they went to meetings, to general meetings, I couldn't go with them. But the rest of the time, we spent together. But that particular night, when 11 Israeli athletes were murdered, I did not sleep in that bed. So being lazy saved my life. And also, it was my first experience with being close to death. Thank you.
Oh, wait, Teddy, I need you to pick the next performer. Asher, make your way up. Let's get some scores. All right, judges, you guys ready? Judge Judy, 6. You guys let them know how you feel. It's okay. All right, Judge Judy, 6. Good try, but 8. 6, 8. Just judging 9. 7, 8. Okay, 8. And 7.5. All right, let's give it up for the performer, not for the score. All right, so Teddy right now has a 7.8. So right now Shira is in the lead, y'all. And after Asher, we're going to have about a 10-minute intermission just to give you guys a heads up. All right, Asher, take it away.
That man over there is the reason why I don't write poetry anymore. That man over there has taken away all of my tools, all of my hurt, my frustration, my fears. And now I can't write anymore because of that man over there. Some of you may be wondering who that man over there is. I will tell you. That man over there, that man is my husband. My husband, let's call him Mati, because that's his name. I call him my husband because that's what he is. Even though the gays still call him my boyfriend. Yes, all of them. And when I correct them, they laugh out loud because apparently equality is adorable. Because apparently my husband and I are assimilating into a heteronormative social structure in which we don't quite belong. But it's not just the gays who have trouble wrapping their minds around like strings around fingers. The complex complexities of making the penises kiss. Which one of you is the woman? They ask. They ask that a lot. 2015, ladies and gentlemen. And we stare back at them blankly, and they insist that we know what they mean. Like telling a chopstick that it has to be a fork, or a knife, or a spoon, because chopsticks don't match the china despite being from there. Apparently, our relationship needs to be understood to be relevant, because apparently equality is adorable. There is nothing complex about our love, nothing that needs to be understood. We live together and laugh at the same jokes and defecate in front of each other. Then we laugh some more. Like monkeys. We share a bed. Each of us gets 50%. Equality. But my husband takes his 50% from the middle of the bed. So I'm left with the two 25s on either side. Because apparently equality is adorable. My husband and I have been together for 6 years. In that time, I have written 0 poems. I have been re-virginized, because that's a thing. Apparently these days, women can go through a procedure to have their vaginas re-virginized. I cannot think of more of a waste of time or money trying to unfuck oneself to reset the pattern. My husband has interrupted all of my patterns. He has broken me down over 6 years. I have become completely dependent upon him, and he knows this. I have forgotten how to feed myself. True story. He takes care of me. He takes care of everything. He takes care of my hurt, my frustration, my fear. Yesterday, he bought me flowers. Just because. Sometimes my mind wanders, even when I'm with him. Sometimes I think about that night, 5.5 years ago. That night that he accidentally leaves me drunk and alone on a boat on Lake Balaton in Hungary. And my world shatters because, despite all logical thought, I am completely convinced that he is never coming back. Crying on the phone to my parents because, for the first time, my heart actually snaps like a twig. The door opens. That man is there. Where were you? I scream, tears streaming down my face, my eyes red with terror and rage and fear. The bathroom, he replies. And when I tell him of my fears and the places I went in my mind, he holds my head in his hands and looks at me and tells me that he will never leave me. And I believe him. And I still believe him. Because whether it's 6 or 60 or 600 years together, it will never be enough. Even if I can't write anymore. Maybe I can. Maybe I just did. he has changed the pattern forever. That man over there, that man, well, he knows it.
Karen, you're up after the intermission. All right, thank you, Asher. All right, guys, we're going to get the quick scores. If you guys just settle down for 1 minute. Shh. Shh. Oh, that worked. Okay. Basic bitches, 8. I bet you that man did not score that. Okay. All right. Right here, 9. 9.8. Holla. 9. Good try, but 9. Judge Judy. Come on, Judy. You need to be judging. 8.5. All right, let's give it up, please, for the performer and not for the score. Thank you, Asher. All right, guys, so we're going to have a quick 10-minute intermission. When you hear the music stop, please take your seats. It's kind of like, what's that game called? Musical chairs. Okay, we're going to do that. Thanks, guys.